Well, guys, it is that time, finally, the moment of truth. It's now time to talk about the one moment that scarred every single Marvel fan alike. That's right, Rocket Raccoon acting completely out of character. I'm actually shocked so many people have asked me for my thoughts on this little tidbit. I, for one, didn't really mind. It really does add depth to the character that was really needed. Truly. Oh, supposing that's not the scarring moment you were thinking of? Oh, yeah. Well, here we go then. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to yet another brand new movie review, and as always, I thank you all so much for stopping by, and I hope you enjoy your stay. And strap in, because this is the next installment in the Marvel Studios playlist. I have waited a long time to talk about this one, Avengers Infinity War. This one should be a doozy. This is, of course, the third outing for the Russo brothers in this universe after two excellent movies with Captain America as their starring vehicle. But this time it stars everybody. No, literally everybody. Check down in the description box below. You're welcome. You got Iron Man, Thor, Cap, Hulk, and the rest of the Avengers uniting together to battle their most powerful enemy yet, the evil Thanos, played by the incredible Josh Brolin. And Thanos is on a mission to collect all 6 Infinity Stones, and he plans to use these artifacts to inflict his twisted will on reality. His motive? Wiping out half of humanity so the world can be perfectly balanced, as it should be in his mind. So therefore, the fate of the planet and existence itself has never been more uncertain, as everything the Avengers have fought for has led up to this moment. And just in case some of you have been living under a rock since 2018, this review absolutely will contain some huge fucking spoilers, especially about this bonkers ending, so you've been fairly warned in case you don't know. Alright, so I'm sure most of you have heard geeks, young and old alike, go on and on about how much they love Avengers Infinity War. To keep it simple, I do too. Even rewatching it as many times as I have since its theatrical run, this movie is still fucking incredible. If you were to look up the word epic in the dictionary, there should be a picture of this poster right here. And I stress there should be a picture of it. Get on it, Merriam-Webster. But joking aside, to put this the most mildly, the Russo brothers had a really tall task ahead of them, and god damn it, they were up for it. This was, I believe, the first big blockbuster project to be shot completely with IMAX cameras. And no matter what screen you're watching this on, no matter what method you're watching it through now, whether it's through the Blu-ray or through Disney Plus, it is still so visually stunning any way you slice it. This CGI is a comic book fan's dream come true. The planets like Titan look unbelievable. The battles, oh my goodness, the battles are out of this world. You have the fun battle with Thanos' minions in New York City. You have the brawl for the gauntlet itself on Titan. You also have the epic climax in Wakanda. There's a ton. And all of it truly fits that definition of epic. And you know what else this movie is? Epically funny. We were dying to see some of these new interactions with some of these new school MCU heroes mixed in with the old, and man, were we not disappointed. The banter we're hearing here is just absolute gold. And I don't need to sit here and tell you how excellent these actors are doing, because just watch them. Every single one of them are pure professionals. But I just loved who these original Avengers were paired off with. Infinity War was all about seeing those new interactions, like Cap going to Wakanda and spending most of his time with T'Challa, as well as his eventual reunion with Bucky Barnes. One of my personal favorite interactions is Thor along with the Guardians of the Galaxy, with Star-Lord intentionally making his voice deeper. No, you're not. You will not be taking our pod today, sir. Quill, are you making your voice deeper? Star-Lord himself has a lot to do in this movie. Him and Drax do have a lot of really fun interactions with Iron Man on Titan itself. Oh, do you want better? Why is Gamora? Fun fact, apparently that line was improvised on set. Good on you, Bautista. Speaking of Iron Man, you have the most obvious pairing off this new interaction he has. Him and Doctor Strange in a battle of wits was something I never knew I needed. And I was a little bit wary the first time I saw this in theaters and I saw Doctor Strange come out of that portal and introduce himself to Iron Man, because these two are not opposites whatsoever. But here I am 3 years later and I still enjoy all the arguments they have. These are two of the most arrogant, intelligent minds in this whole canon, and they clash constantly. I'm sorry, what exactly is your job? Protecting your reality. Douchebag. I mean, that cuts deep, doesn't it? But even with all of these different Avengers scattered throughout this vast runtime, they all kind of felt like distractions compared to the true star of this movie, Thanos. Josh Brolin was so utterly magnificent in this role. The motion capture is absolutely stellar. The presence and the mystique surrounding this guy is truly awe-inspiring. It's amazing. The one part of the movie that not everybody was all that excited to see ended up being the strongest part. I mean, that whole opening sequence with him completely sets the tone for the next 150 minutes. You know, by completely dismantling that Asgardian fleet and killing Heimdall and Loki all in one fell swoop. That legitimizes him right off the bat. And I really respect that they opened with that chilling sequence, because right off the bat, they want you to know that this is his movie. This is Thanos' story. Think about it. Everything going on is all centered around his objectives. And he's got many obstacles in these various Avengers. And he's also the emotional crux of this movie, shown brilliantly through his relationship with Gamora. The Guardians are really important in this movie, especially Gamora, played awesomely by Zoe Saldana once again. And it all builds up to eventually Thanos really wanting that Soul Stone and having to go to Vormir and sacrificing a soul for a soul. Under the direct orders of Red Skull, by the way, which was a nice little Easter egg. And he eventually throws Gamora off that cliff. That was shocking, jarring. I was certainly not expecting it the first time I saw it, but this whole scene was handled so beautifully. It was legitimately heartbreaking. I know, seeing this big baddie so broken down over having to do what he did to his own daughter to get to his ultimate goals. As horrible as it may have been, his actions, this is incredible filmmaking. And he eventually does get what he wants when he slaughters Vision pretty brutally on Wakanda by literally plucking out the Mind Stone out of his brain. And then you think you're gonna get the happy ending with the heroes when Thor thrusts the Stormbreaker into Thanos' chest. And we do get a lot of badass sequences with Thor holding Stormbreaker, might I add. And that made me very happy as a Thor fan. But then, you should have gone for the head. And with a snap of his fingers, all the new school Avengers are dusted all around Thanos. And the memes of Peter Parker not feeling so good stormed my Twitter feed after all was said and done. And I can't remember another time in the theater where an ending just shocked me and surprised me and just made me feel so hopeless. Because by simply snapping his fingers, Thanos changed the trajectory of the MCU forever. I'll never forget it. Once the credits slammed in on opening night, I literally stood up in my chair and screamed at the projector screen. I couldn't believe it. Also, is it just me? Or did those end credits feel like an in memoriam? I can't be the only one that feels this way. Now, some people may have issues with the pacing of this film, and some might think it's a little bit uneven in parts, and that's totally fine. But I've talked to a few people who actually think this ending was way too grim for them. And yes, I can completely understand if this scars your children and this isn't something you'd want to rewatch again. But as a 24-year-old man sitting here today, watching this ending in that theater the first time, there was only one thing on my mind. Thanos needs to get his. Or better yet, I gotta see what happens next. Because think about it, guys. If Thanos was just defeated in this one movie, that all just kind of feels like time wasted with, what, 15 movies at this point building him up? I mean, this is the first time ever that the Avengers and Thanos are really facing off. They're going against this really legit threat, and he's proven what he's capable of. If he was just defeated here, we would just sit there in the theater and be like, oh, it's great. Yay. All right, cool. Awesome. It's over. Oh, we gotta see another one. If it just ended with Thanos getting defeated in Infinity War, there would be absolutely no reason for us to go and see Endgame the next year. The way it was, Endgame became the highest grossing film of all time. And I don't think that would have happened if Thanos just lost here. The whole moral of the story is this, my friends. I truly feel like this movie was the one that really set the trajectory for where the MCU was going for the next decade. Some people may argue that Civil War was that film, and I'm not going to argue that point. That is a great film, but it's this one that I think really propelled the MCU into the next level. As frightening as that ending may have been, this is living proof that even 10 years after this whole concept of the Marvel Cinematic Universe was introduced, even then, we still want to go back and see more, and it's still that way right now, and I feel like we have this movie to thank for it. I'm absolutely giving Avengers Infinity War an A+. Yeah, this is obviously supreme top-tier Marvel, guys. I love Avengers Infinity War to death. I've seen it so many times already. I'm planning on rewatching it so many more. If you've never seen this movie, like, what the heck are you even doing? And as per tradition with these MCU projects, stay tuned for after the credits because you do get a nice little Easter egg which plays into the introduction of Captain Marvel. And that'll be coming up later on in this playlist as we really get down to the wire. I have had such a great time discussing all these movies with you guys. Stay tuned for more content hitting the channel very soon, including the next entry into this playlist, Ant-Man and the Wasp. So you guys have got that video to look forward to and much, much more. This is all, of course, just my opinion about Avengers Infinity War. What do you guys think? Do you agree with me? Do you not? Is this your favorite in the whole MCU up to this point? Let's discuss all these topics further down in the comments section, guys. Because obviously, I love it. I love what I do here, making these videos, starting the discussion with you guys about cinema and all things entertainment. If these are all topics that sound appealing to you, please consider hitting that subscribe button down below as hard as you possibly can. It is free. It would really, really help out the channel if you did so. If you also click on that notification bell, you guys will be the first ones to know anytime a new upload hits the channel. And just one last reminder, if you guys liked this video, please be sure to leave a thumbs up on your way out. That would be awesome. As per, look out for more exciting content hitting this channel very, very soon. You guys are the best. And with all that being said, back talk, commence!